Why, hello again, YouTube. So this week's video is probably going to be another not overly long one. But I think because I am tired of hearing it, either the alternator in this thing is making noise, or it's the fact that that belt's loose. Either way, this thing has been howling when I drive it. So I have a new alternator. I'm going to get ready to pull the belts off and replace at least those two belts, because I don't know if I feel like fighting with getting the other ones off. I don't really see much of a point to taking the other two off, because the other two bolts look like they're in okay shape, so I'm not going to really worry about those two. So we're going to change those two belts and hope that that in fact fixes, along with changing the alternator too, fixes the sounds that I'm hearing when this thing's running. I would have liked to have deleted the smog pump, but it doesn't really look like that's an option that I can do, unfortunately. So we're going to leave the smog pump still hooked up. Ugh. Still having some breathing issues yet this week, which sucks, but it is what it is. But I figure also while we're at it, I have a new distributor cab, rotor button, spark plug wires, and spark plugs. So we'll probably go ahead and change all of them too while we're at it, just to kind of give the car an overall tune-up and go from there. I figure I want to see how maybe some of the shorter video formats go, instead of my hour-and-a-half-hour-long videos that involve just a lot of me rambling. So yeah, we're going to see how this goes. All right. So on that note, I'm going to shut up and we're going to jump into it and start taking stuff off. You guys missed a lot of that. Because frankly, the air pump, the freaking air pump, was making it a goddamn nightmare. So I had to shut the camera off and just kind of get it done, because any footage wouldn't have been useful anyway. So as you can see, the air pump itself, something on it actually broke while doing everything else. But looking down inside the air pump, it doesn't look like it's exactly been doing anything anyway, so I'm not overly mad about it. I think what I'm going to look into doing at some point here in the near future is just maybe they make a delete kit for the air pump that changes a couple pulleys, because you can't just delete the air pump and bypass it, because it goes, the pulley setup goes from the crank to the water pump to the air pump, and then a separate belt goes from the water pump to the alternator. So if you delete the air pump, you have no tension point or anything to be able to put a belt on the water pump, which also in turn means you can't put a belt on the alternator. So there's no win. I'm probably going to regret later not changing the other two belts while I was at it, but at this point I don't care. Yeah, it doesn't squeal now, so that's the victory of this, is now I have a alternator that doesn't make noise, and I have belts that are actually properly tensioned and don't make noise. Downside is I now have an air pump that's leaky and sounds louder than the freaking engine. But that's beside the point. I can live with that, because the moment the hood's shut, I can hear basically the exhaust, and that's about it. So it's kind of like having a bit of an exhaust leak at the moment. I can deal with it. It is not exactly the warmest out today either. So the next thing we're going to go ahead and do is I'm going to try to find my tripod, and we'll go ahead and we'll get the spark plugs and spark plug wires done in this. But I think before that happens, I think Nino's coming over. Maybe. And we're going to go out for dinner and stuff. Put it in perspective, because I know I've mentioned him a couple times. He's my buddy that I got my Celica back off of. So, and it's not in the box because I'm not 100% sure where I set it all down. But the new water pump, well, the new old water pump showed up for the Rambler today. And it's the wrong one again. So, but at this point, I think I have enough random crap between one kind of right water pump that I didn't have a right pulley for, one new water pump that is the wrong water pump that came with a pulley that's kind of the right pulley for the other wrong water pump. I think I've got enough laying around that I can maybe make one water pump work on the car. I don't know. At this point, I'm kind of at a loss for words with it. So if anyone wants to buy a Rambler, let me know. At this point, I'd probably sell it and not care too much about doing it. The only thing I'd probably do is keep my wheels and tires, because those could go on here. Yeah.
You say that, but you like your truck tires.
I do, but the Keystones would look better on it. So, and I need new wheels for the Cadillac anyway. If we can, I want to take the Cadillac on Power Tour.
I know you do.
Which means it needs different tires and wheels before Power Tour. Because it does. Along with, I should probably do brakes before Power Tour, but
I have no space here, but something just went down in
that's not good.
my shirt.
That's not good. But yeah, alright. Enough rambling. I gotta get cleaned up. I gotta get ready to go eat with my buddy when he gets here. I think he's supposed to be here in like the next hour or so. Over here digging leaves out of her boobs. And then when we come back, we'll finish doing the tune-up on this thing. I'm sorry I didn't show you guys more of that, but I just couldn't. Just couldn't do it. Yeah. Oh, and I gotta wash this thing too. I am so tired of my neighbor's trees, because this thing is, you can kind of tell on camera, it's disgusting. Every car in the driveway right now is actually kind of disgusting. This is even dirty, and it sat outside for like an hour. But these damn trees, every time the weather changes, just decide that, you know, we need to rain pollen and sap and everything else on everything. Between that and then they've been doing some construction over there, tearing out the trailer house, and I hate my neighborhood currently. So, which is okay, because I think half of them don't like me anyway, so now it's just mutual. So, all right, I'm done talking. I'll bring you guys back when I'm doing something. I haven't been around the birds, but with the weather change and the way the air and the heat keeps cycling on and off in the house, I've been noticing I can, what's the best way? I can smell the bird room, which sounds weird, but basically what that means is I think some of the dander from their room has been getting out of their room because the air's not been getting cycled and filtered like it normally would. And I'm gonna drop my phone. So it's been causing me some issues. That, and then like weather change itself messes with me, and it's just, it's not a fun time. Not a fun time at all. But anyway, I want to go ahead before I go any farther. I did let the car run for a minute or two, so I feel like everything's gonna be a little, not really. I'm gonna say I feel like everything's gonna be a little warm to the touch, but it's not bad. So we're gonna go ahead and pull the spark plug wires, all that stuff down off the shelf. We're gonna go ahead and get that done. And I think that's gonna be it for this video, because I don't have time this weekend to do the brakes on the car, which is kind of what I wanted to get done. But this is my week where I swing from nights to days. So basically I lose half of a day off just because of that swing. And then I lose basically the other half to sleep. So instead of it being a 4-day weekend like it normally is for me, it's a 3-day weekend. I didn't get to do any filming on the first day. So I've only really had about 2 days to mess with anything. And it's been busy. I've been trying not to film as much when the wife's not working, so we have more time off together. Yeah, it's a big to-do. But anyway, look at this pretty thing. I love this car. Oh, my buddy Nino was here yesterday, and I now officially own this car. I have the title for it and everything. And he dropped off some parts for the GS400 that was in my driveway for a little bit. So my buddy that has the GS400 can now put the lowering springs on it and actually make it a more drivable car. So that's going to get done. And still waiting to hear back from my buddy in Minnesota. He thinks he has located the transmission mounts I want for this to try to hopefully solve a lot of issues with mounting and all that fun stuff. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I hear from him next week that he can get them and we can get them shipped here, and then we can start really figuring some things out on this, because I have a feeling it's going to come completely out again, because I think I'm going to be massaging some things on the firewall to give myself a bit more room. It's not exactly what I want to do, but it's something I think I need to do, because I think at least a small section of this lip needs folded down, and I got a small spot back there on the firewall I'd like to beat in a little bit. Just all things to give me just the minute amount more clearance that I'd like. And I think the motor mounts I'm looking at it's going to change the angle of the engine a little bit. And I'm going to work on going ahead and notching the cross member to give myself a little bit more room too. Just basically, there's going to be a lot of little things where you're going to see me pull the engine back out, reset some things, and put it all right back together. So, because this is probably going to be the major winter project, is getting this together to where it's hopefully a drivable car after winter. And these two, I don't know. I don't have any big plans for these two right now. I would like to pull the lip off, repaint the lip, get something done about the hood, and I'm debating on getting some vinyl, wrapping the hood, wrapping the trunk lid, and wrapping the center of the wing. Just to kind of give it a nice uniform all the way across the car look. I even thought about trying to do like the pillars and this little section up here as well. But I doubt I will. I don't think I'm going to go that crazy with the whole wrap idea. Just to kind of clean the car up a little bit, make the paint look a little bit better, until I can maybe look into an actual carbon fiber hood and just maybe get the whole car repainted. I have a fender up there somewhere. There it is. You can kind of see the bottoms of it. It looks white and red, but that's the Japanese rising sun flag on a fender. I am going to be putting back on this car. Well, it was never originally on this car. It was on my coupe. But, yeah, I think that's a look I want to go back to. And then in the next year or so, I would like to get the whole car repainted and it won't be black anymore. So we will see how that goes. I'm not holding my breath on it happening in the next year, but I'd like to see it happen in the next year. And at which point, if I get that done, this thing is paint and body work away from being a completed project that is 100% done. Don't really want to change anything else about it. And it'll just be this and the Nova are my forever cars. They're not going anywhere. They will never go anywhere. I have no one to get rid of them. They both hold special places in my heart. And that's just how it's going to be. This bastard, though, it might get there one of these days. It was there for a minute. It ain't there no more. It's getting on my nerves. And that big beauty, I love her, but she could be replaced by a better one and I wouldn't have my feelings hurt. And that thing, it'll probably stay too. I can't see me getting rid of it. I've had a couple offers on it and I've never sold it, so I don't see it going anywhere. It'd take a pretty stupid offer. But and the Rambler keeps its crap up. Trade that thing for a Klondike bar. But all right, enough rambling, because if I don't stop rambling, I'm not going to stop rambling. Let's get these dang parts off the shelf. I think that is the rotor button, spark plugs, distributor cap. We need all that. I'm gonna set this all back here on our fancy red workbench. And yes, I know, it's weird that I'm working outside, especially with as windy as it is. But I don't want to move the convertible out. So, that I'm afraid if I move the convertible out and I don't get the Cadillac done in one shot, well, then it sets and it's stuck in the garage, and I don't know if I can get the garage door shut with it. So, I know I can. It's just a matter of having everything moved around right. Dang it. These are the brake caliper rebuild kits. So I got both of those to do in a weekend. Front brake pads, front brake lines. I believe that is the master cylinder. That's the box for the fuel pump. Front brake rotors. If you notice, there's not a lot laying there for rears because the rears don't seem to be in bad shape. I do have laying over there on the workbench, right there, is the rear wheel cylinders, because I know one of them was slightly leaking a little bit, I think. So I have them to replace. Everything else inside, from memory serves correct, wasn't too bad. So I'm not too worried about replacing any of the rest of it. Not to mention everything on the back half of the brakes gets harder to find. The front brakes was actually surprisingly easy to find. I've got all those right from my wife's work. So, yeah. All right. God dang it. I keep rambling. Sorry, guys. All right. I'm going to hop off. Find my stand for the phone and get to recording something that's actually, something. On getting things set up to get some work done. Suddenly I have a helper. Very hyper helper. But I found my stand. I forgot it was in the basement. So we're gonna get some stuff done on the Cadillac. Was that a yes?
Yeah.
Yeah? Alright, let's get some work done on the Cadillac. High five. Alright. All right, time to get some work done, guys. Here are the spark plugs out of this side. They're dirty, so they show their age. They show a little bit of wear. This one's out of, I think that's number 4. It's either number 4 or number 8. I can't remember. It's a little wet around the top of it, but I think that's from the valve cover leaking. The rest of them look relatively dry, though. And other than, you know, being a little dirty from age, obviously, they don't look like they're in bad shape overall. Don't really look burned or anything. Looks like it shows the car's been running halfway decent. It might be a little on the rich side. I don't know. But overall, not bad. I hate these black spark plugs. I'm pretty sure these are auto lights. I hate black spark plugs because it's hard to tell how burnt something is when you can't see half of it because it's all black anyway. Yeah, there's those 4. And then you guys seen, I'm going to go through, I'm going to get all the spark plugs changed, then go back, do the plug wires and cap and everything. Because I don't know the firing order that well, so I don't want to do everything all at once and just rip it off and put it back on and have everything wrong. So, we're doing it little by little. What is this? Ow. I feel like that's important and should be hooked to something. I feel like that's supposed to go over to the other valve cover somewhere. Huh. I don't know. Maybe that came off of the, that might have come off the intake. And the old, air filter setup. Alright. Time to set the camera up and get the other side done. Here's the other 4. While a couple of them look like they had some carbon buildup on them that hadn't burned off. Like you can see it here. If it'll focus. They don't want to focus. Yeah, it's got a little bit of carbon buildup on them here and there. No real big sootiness. They look relatively like the other ones. So, and the car runs good, so I'm not so worried about it. This is kind of one of those, I'm not doing it to look for a problem. Doing it just because I don't know when the last time it's been done, and I want to just know where the car's at maintenance-wise. So, now that those are done, next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to pull off the cap, pull off the rotor, replace those, and then I will start one by one with the spark plug wires, replacing all of them. So, lose my stand. So, I will bring you guys along for that. That'll be the next thing we do. There we go. We're all changed. So I think the next thing to do is to get these tools out of the way, is to fire it up and hope that the firing order is still correct. If not, I'll be doing some Googling and actually looking at the firing order. So, see how she sounds. All right, there's that done. So now we will grab the key that I dropped on the floor, start it up, see how it sounds, and hopefully there's no surprises. Fired right up, sounds like she's running good. Everything seems good. Drop her down in gear, sounds good. Drive sounds good. All right. There you go, she idled down. Yeah. All right, I am happy with that. So, hey, do we want to run up and see Mom? Yeah? All right, well, we'll get your seatbelt on and we'll go up and we'll see Mom. Yeah. There we go. That is the mechanic's plan, so that's what we're going to do. Yes, we'll get the hood shut on this old girl. Get the garage shut up quick. Someone was watching dinosaurs, as she calls them, dinosaurs. And we'll run up and see Mom. Make sure the car's running okay. So, alright, I'll bring you guys back when I can mount you in the window or something. Alright, let's go up and see Mom, baby. Yeah. Seems to be running pretty good. Yeah. Tune-up did it. I'm not saying the tune-up did it a ton of good, because I mean it wasn't running bad before. It does sound a bit. It does sound a bit smoother than it was. So I think the cap and rotor probably did more than what the spark plugs and spark plug wires did. Or it might have been the cap rotor and spark plug wires. Yeah. Because the spark plug wire or spark plugs themselves didn't look that bad. Yeah. Got social commentary from the back seat. So I don't think yes, I'm shifting it to hold it in gear a little bit longer to see how it sounds. But overall, it definitely doesn't seem bad. Definitely didn't hurt anything with anything we did. Although I did keep blowing generator fuses, or body harness fuses, I guess is what it's labeled as. I think that was because something that was wrong with the new alternator. Put the old one back in, that went away. So yeah, she even stripped off a little nicer now. So yeah, I'm gonna take this as a win. Now we gotta go in and see Mom. Just pulled back into the house. Car's running good, idling down low. The windshield's a little dirty though, and I was like, I never figured it worked, so I thought I tried it before and I thought it didn't work, but the windshield washer fluid even works in this thing. Holy crap. The more I mess with this thing, the more I realize this is a car that is definitely from a better build point in time for an American car. I think this switch right here is the only one that doesn't seem to work. Everything else works in the car. You know, the vents all work, climate control system works, the radio works, and when you turn the radio on, the antenna does go up. It doesn't go up and down with the switch. You know, the adjusters for the mirror works. I guess the clock doesn't. But yeah. But yeah, that's it. Everything else in this car works. It's so good. So yeah. I think on that bombshell, I think we're done for the week. So, yeah, we're done working on it for the week, aren't we? Because Dad's got to go back to work tomorrow. So, yeah. So there we go. We give the Cadillac a good tune-up. We went for a little bit of a test drive. Everything's working. Running like a top. Couldn't be happier. Oh, it looks like I need to pop that trim piece back in. So yeah. I think that's it for this week, guys. I think next week, if we can, since I've got a little bit of a longer weekend next week, I think we're going to go ahead and try to tackle the brakes on it. That'll be the next thing, because that's the only real issue with this car still, as you guys can see, the brake light. The brake light, even when it's running. See how good it starts. The brake light never shuts off. So, as far as I can tell, that is because of the rear brakes. I don't think are working 100%. So, that'll be next week's video, I think. Along with washing everything, because like that needs a bath, this needs a bath, the two in there need a bath, RAV4 needs a bath, truck needs a bath, everything needs a bath. So,
yeah, I should bath.
Yeah, you need a bath too? Yeah. Yeah, see, she even needs a bath. And so do I. So yeah, I think we're gonna call this it for this week. You guys will have to let me know if you like these shorter ones where I just get like one project knocked out and we don't try to do a bunch at one time like we were on the Rambler. You guys will have to let me know how you feel about this, what you guys want to see as far as how you want to see it. You know, I'm trying to keep each video, I think at this point, more focused on one car as well and not bounce from car to car to car in the same video. So, yeah. On that note, from me and the little one there in the back seat. She's such a little butthead. We'll see you guys next time. So, remember, it's not about the destination, it's about the adventure. Get out, have some fun. I know, I always say that, don't I? Yeah. Such a little butthead. So yeah, get out, have some fun with your projects. I'll see you guys next time.